Hi again, this is Justin for CCLD 419, my final project blog. We're listening to some nice classical music in the front seat of my girlfriend's car. And this is actually the fourth item I chose for my final, actually will be my number 5, if I'm counting correctly, for my final project blog. And this item I chose is the dashboard actually of this car. You can see there's a number of different lights or panels that are emitting some sort of light on the car that are giving off different information for whoever's driving the car. The reason I chose this was to kind of build off the theme. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the music, that's kind of distracting. Was to build off the theme I kind of talked about with the mouse in an earlier video, and that is understanding the relationship of when you click a button or do some sort of a command with a certain technology, how that information is then transcribed for whatever technology you're using to do some sort of action. So as far as the sensory aspects of the dashboard, we have a couple of flashing lights. First off, you have obviously down here, I don't have my seatbelt on, but the car's not moving, so don't worry, letting you know if you're not wearing your seatbelt. This one on the top left, you can kind of see my hand. That's the e-brake. Obviously, whenever you, if you're going to rev the engine, you can kind of see, obviously the panel moves to let you know how many RPMs you're doing per minute. I'll do that one more time just so you can see. Oh, I don't know if you can hear it too. And then something like your indicator. Obviously, your input, pulling the lever here, although we're in the dark you can't really see, is then gonna not only start this flashing light letting people know behind you that you're going to be turning left, it also lets you know by making the clicking noise and flashing light on your indicator. Same thing for when you're going to turn right. Another thing is when you pull on the lever. Oh. Let's see if I can turn the headlights on. I should know how. Okay, what about this? No. There we go. You can see the in the bottom corner there, that's the sign that the headlights are on. So sensory aspects would be pulling and pressing on the lever to turn the lights on and your indicators off. The clicking noise it's making when you are either going to turn left or turn right. I guess you could also include the hazards down here, which would then put both of them on. As far as what would happen if you put this dashboard underwater or pounded it with a hammer, it will probably break. This Corolla is not waterproof, so it probably wouldn't function underneath water anyway. Okay, now that we've done that, let's take a step outside. Turn this off. Okay. Alright, so let's go. So, number 6 are the headlights, or the front lights. The reason I chose this is the sensory aspect of the colored plastic covering the light bulb inside, you can see changes the color of the light. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the headlights now. This is harder than it looks. There we go. So you can see this is much more powerful, blinding light now. Again, I thought this would just be cool to see how you can kind of transform or shape light by covering this with a transparent piece of plastic, or covering a light with an orange colored plastic. You can modify the color of whatever light you are experimenting with. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn the car off though. Hopefully I didn't waste too much gas. E-brake is on, car is parked. Alright. Lock the car. I'm going to go on a bit of a walk now, and the last sensory aspect for this blog that I'm going to cover is streetlights. Now, at first glance, maybe not the most exciting sensory aspect, but it kind of builds upon the light bulb. So you can see how the camera, this is not how a bulb looks like in real life, but there's limitations of what an actual camera can pick up as far as light, and you are seeing some of those limitations right now. So having a discussion, or maybe the children want to inquire as why this light is so much more powerful than the light I showed you in my bathroom, how the light knows how to turn on and off, on at night and off in the morning, you know, what controls that, how does that happen. The sensory aspects of the light appear to be none, since it's so high up. You can see I'm down here on the ground. But actually, if you think about it, it creates, I don't know if you can see on the ground, not so much, let me move over here. Well, you can't pick up my shadow, but it creates pockets of light. I mean, if you look at this puddle right here, hopefully I don't get run over by this car down there. The street lights are so much more powerful than a normal bulb. It creates different patterns on the ground when whatever waves of light eventually hit. So you can see, for example, like over there, we can zoom in on my camera, the puddle's pretty dark. You don't have much ability to pick up how gravelly the road is, or how much or how deep the water is. But if you look, I'm going to zoom out a bit, down at this one, you can see the light sort of shines on the pavement, lights up the texture of the ground. Also, you get a better idea of how deep this puddle is as opposed to the one I showed you over here. And yeah, just experimenting with how a reflection is created, how powerful the light then dictates how strong the reflection is going to be on the ground. So yeah, and pretty easy to access a streetlight no matter where you live in Canada. You probably have one right outside your door. Alright, well, this concludes this video blog for my final project. Thank you very much for watching, and I think I'll probably do 1 or 2 more of these before the blog is finished. So if you want to scroll down and watch, that would be great.